Hello everybody, this is Paul Neeson with Torah Life Ministries, and today I want to look at a very important psalm, Psalms 1. And when we hear this and we think about this, I don't think most people think about this when I read it. It says, "Blessed is the man who has not walked in the counsel of the wicked, and has not stood in the way of sinners, and has not sat in the seat of the scorners. But his delight is only in the Torah of Yahweh. He meditates in his Torah day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, which will give its fruit in its season, and its leaf will not wither. And all which he does will prosper. Not so are the wicked, but they are only a shaft which the wind drives about. On account of this, the wicked shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For Yahweh is known by the way of the righteous, and the way of the wicked shall perish." Now, let's look at another version of this. This is a more common version, and this is the New Life Application Study Bible, the New Life Application Study Bible, the New Living Testament. And this one says here, "Oh, the joys of those who do not follow the advice of the wicked, or stand around with sinners, or join with mockers, but they delight in the law of the Lord, meditating on it day and night. They are like trees planted along the riverbank, bearing fruit each season. The leaves wither and prosper in all they do. But not the wicked. They are like worthless chaff, scattered by the wind. They will be condemned at the time of judgment. Sinners will have no place among the godly. For the Lord watches over the path of the godly, but the path of the wicked leads to destruction." This is important, folks. I do not judge somebody's salvation. I judge them on their walk and their actions, as we're called to do as believers, not to tear them down, but to lift them up. But as for somebody's salvation, that is not for me to judge. But again, we are to discern and help our fellow brother and our fellow sister if they claim to be a believer, but they're not following the way we're told to live. Now, non-believers is another story. If somebody has not proclaimed Yeshua as Messiah, and they are living against the word of Scripture, we need to pray for them, we need to show them Messiah, and they need to get it. However, when somebody claims to know Messiah, and somebody claims that they love Messiah, but they're not living according to the Word, and enjoying their life, then as a believer, we are supposed to warn them so their blood is not on our hands. And I am warning so many people out there today that are watching this video right now, who claim to be believers, but you're not living according to the Word and enjoying it. Now, you might say, well, are you perfect? Do you ever sin? I do sin, and I have a wonderful video that I put online talking about lovers of sin and haters of sin. I hate sin, and if I sin, I don't enjoy it, and I don't desire to do it again. And that's the difference between people who love their sin, and they don't get upset if they sin, and they keep doing it. Even worse, people that don't even know what sin is. Because it's important to define that, and I was always under the impression that we're not saved by works. Well, we might not be saved by works, as it says in Scripture, but we should do the works because we are saved. Now, we look at being saved by works. Are we truly saved by works or not? And again, I am not judging one's salvation. I am not saying if one is saved by works or not. I know it says in certain places in the Scripture, it's not works that saves us, it's only the blood of Messiah, or it says the blood of Messiah. I will definitely say we're saved by the blood of Messiah. We can't work our way into heaven. I do know that much. But how important is the works to be done? So we have the blood of Messiah, but do we need the works also, or is the blood of Messiah enough? Well, when we look at the word works, what is the word works? Well, basically, works is following or living according to the way He tells us to live. It's known as the guidelines and instructions known as the Torah. So again, if somebody desires to follow the guidelines and instructions, but for some reason they do not and they're upset about it, and they continue to desire and push through to get there, to make it happen, that shows their heart is in the right place. They're not giving up. They keep trying, and if they mess up, they're upset. Their heart is in the right place. But if somebody goes around continuously not following the word, enjoying the world's ways more than his ways, then that's a heart issue, folks. Now let's go back to the psalm here and look what it actually says. It says, "Blessed is the man who has not walked in the counsel of the wicked, and has not stood in the way of sinners, and has not sat in the seat of scorners." So we know that we are blessed for following the works. That's without a doubt. It says that all through Scripture. So if we're blessed for following the works, the opposite of a blessing is a curse. Then we'd be cursed for not following the word. So we're blessed for following the guidelines and instructions of our Creator. So we know that works gives us blessings. Do you want blessings in your life? So what are these blessings? Well, there are many types of blessings, but let's look more and look at what it says and just see the importance of the blessing and how it plays with our salvation. It says in verse 2, "But he delights in, but his delight only in the Torah of our Creator, and he meditates on it day and night." So his main delight, the thing that he loves the most in life, is to think about the guidelines and instructions of our Creator. That's his desire. That's what he loves. It says, "He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, which gives its fruit in its seasons, and his leaf will not wither, and all which he does will prosper." So, Yeshua talked about the fruit in people and the good tree versus the bad tree and prospering. Now, there are a lot of wicked people and a lot of sinners that might be doing good here on earth. But that's according to the world's ways. Their fruit will prosper when they delight. It doesn't even say, it says when they delight in his word and they meditate on it. It doesn't even say, accomplishing it. It says they delight in it. Their heart's desire is to do it. They will prosper. Then it goes on to say, "Not so are the wicked." Now, who's the wicked according to Scripture? According to Scripture, the wicked is people that are not living according to the guidelines and instructions of our Creator. The wicked are those that say we no longer need to follow the guidelines and instruction. The wicked are those that say we have the blood of Messiah so we can live any way we want. The wicked are those that say we can live according to the world's ways because we have the blood of Messiah. It says here, "Not so are the wicked, but they are only a shaft which the wind drives away. On account of this, the wicked shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous." Folks, are we saved by works? Are we blessed by works? Well, I'm just going to give you verse 5 once again here, and you decide. It says, "On account of this," and which is, "not so are the wicked." Okay, on account of this, the wicked, the non-keepers of the guidelines and instructions, the people that do not desire to keep it, the people that enjoy the world's ways more than they enjoy his ways. It says, "On account of this, the wicked shall not, and this isn't my word, I'm not saying this, is right here in Scripture. On account of this, the wicked shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous." We continue, verse 6. "For our Creator is knowing the way of the righteous." He knows the way of the righteous, and that is keeping the guidelines and instructions. "And the way of the wicked shall perish." The way of the wicked shall perish. What's the way of the wicked? We can say the world's ways, or we could say against our Creator's ways. What's our Creator's ways? It's found in the first 5 books of the Bible, known as the Torah, and that is the message Yeshua Messiah gave to the people. Keep our Creator's ways. That is it. There's a note here that even says, Psalms 1, as with many other Psalms, give a clear distinction between the righteous, those keeping the Torah, and the wicked, those sinning and disobeying Torah. Sin is defined as breaking Torah, as it says in 1 John 3:4. We look at the more common version of the New Life Application Study Bible, and again, It says, the joys of those who do not follow the advice of the wicked, or stand around with sinners, or join with mockers. But they delight in the law of the Lord. They delight in our Creator's instruction guidelines, meditating it day or night. They are like trees planted along the riverbank, bearing fruit each season. Their leaves never wither, and they prosper in all they do. But not the wicked. They are like worthless chaff, scattered by the wind, and they will be condemned at the time of judgment. Condemned at the time of judgment. Sinners will have no place among the godly, for the Lord watches over the path of the godly, but the path of the wicked leads to destruction. You decide for yourself how important works are in your life. I'm telling you what Scripture says how important they are. Again, it is not up to me to judge the salvation of each person. It's up to me as your brother in Messiah to let you know Scripture says that we are not to delight in the world's ways and desire to keep His guidelines and instructions. The average church today, when you walk into the average church, they're telling you the world's ways are better than His ways. Some guy got upset when I said that once, and he said, not my church. My church teaches that we should live according to the instructions and guidelines of our Creator. I said, oh, really? Are they telling you we no longer need to follow the guidelines and instructions of our Creator? He says, no, they say we should live that way. But then I simply changed the word, guidelines and instructions, to commandments. And he says, we no longer need to keep the commandments because we have the blood of Messiah. Folks, guidelines and instructions means the commandments. I ask you, do you desire to follow the commandments of our Creator? Some people might say, there's no way we can be perfect and do all that. I didn't ask if you do all that. I said, do you desire to do all that? Do you even know what they are? Where your heart is, the action will follow. It says in the Scriptures, if you love me, you will keep my commands. It says in the Scriptures, my commandments will not be burdensome to those who love me. There are many, many, many different commandments out there. Not all of them apply to us. Each one of us might be in a different situation where some commandments might apply to us and some not. I can't fulfill commandments that are set for women or farmers. I'm not a farmer and I'm not a woman. But there are commandments given for men that I can keep. There are commandments given to all of us that we can keep. Not because we have to and it's a law and we're told to or else. No, because we desire to so much. Not to be saved, but because we are saved. Folks, you have the opportunity to get so many blessings by listening to the words of our Creator. It's up to you. You know, as it says, as believers, be watchmen for each other. I want you, if you're a believer out there, to read Psalms 1, and you tell me if it says something different than I just told you. If you don't consider yourself a sinner, you need to ask yourself, what is sin? And once you determine what sin is, you need to know, do you desire to keep the word of our Creator, or would you rather have the advice of the wicked? Blessed is the man that does not keep the advice of the wicked, but they desire to live a righteous life, a life of obedience to our Creator's words. Alright, if you have any other questions or comments, you can post them below the video. And if you want to see more videos, simply go to my website, www.torahlife.tv. Until then, everybody, have a great day, and shalom, shalom.
Come out of the world, oh my people, seek the truth, avoid the evil, learn Yahweh's ways. Torah Life Ministries, come out of the world.